This is the valley we flew over from the Waimea Canyon towards the right of us above. The trail to get to the state park below starts along the northern part of the island ahead of us, ending at the base of the valley below, 10.8 miles. That's the hiking trail, zigzagging its way. It'll take good hikers a day just to get to the base of that valley. That is not the original trail. It was carved by the state. It's in Waimea, where the king and queen first settled, is where the trail started originally. The sea conditions, the large landslides, wind and rain, it eroded away the coast. That trail eroded away with the Nepali. Every year, the sea conditions below, you can tell how high it erodes away the coast. Just follow the vegetation line. The valley towards the right of us is 6 miles by hiking trail. Reaching that valley towards the right of us of Kauai to continue towards the back of us to get to that state park. That is the halfway point to get to the beach. Ahead of us along the top of that mountain, the Twin Peaks, the movie in South Pacific, Bali High, the Hawaii name, Makana. The valley below is called Hanakapiai, 2 miles by hiking trail. It'll take a few hours to get to the base of the valley. If you have the time, you can continue within the base of the valley. The hiking trail ends at the base of that waterfall in the back of the valley. It's 2.5 miles from the left of us to get to that waterfall. The northern part of the island towards the left of us, the base of the mountain is where that highway 560 comes to an end. The county park can't end. There's a protected area where the road ends. You can swim snorkeling. This is where the trail starts along the coast. You can kayak. You can follow the Nepali. If you know someone who can pick you up on the opposite side of the coast, you can spend the day along the Nepali. Just follow the entire coast towards the end. Highway 50, it ends on the opposite side of the coast, where we started from. The valley below Wainiha, the northern part of the Hawaiian island, to the Hawaiian families that settled throughout the island. It was the home for the Menahones. They were 3 to 5 feet in height. They were skilled in stonework. The early Hawaiian families credited those Menahones, and they created those rock formations overnight. Only a few rock formations that remains. Most of them were destroyed. Pineapple, sugar plantations, urban development. The rock formations that still remains within the Hawaiian island, similar to those from the Marquesas Islands, 2,400 miles to the south of this island. Find a beach where you can swim, snorkeling, windsurfing, or just to relax. Do nothing. There's a few different state county parks along the entire coast. You can camp along those parks if you have the time. There's Honolulu towards the left of us. A lot of music, legends, history. Princeville is across that bay towards the left of us. One of the destination resort areas. The plants along the base of the valleys and those ponds of water along the entire coastal area. The Hawaiian name, Kalo. The English name, Taro. It's the roots from the plants used to make poi, once the main staple food of the early Hawaiian families. The stems, its leaves are edible, used in Hawaiian dish. They're not native to the islands. The Polynesian peoples that came to the islands, it was introduced. The Hawaiian archipelago is not the largest groves of taro. From the University of Hawaii, China grows the most taro in the world today. Nigeria, then the Philippines. The Philippines with 26,600 acres today. The Hawaiian Islands, 5,300 acres. In this Hawaiian Island today that grows 2/3 of the total state's consumption. Poi. Just follow the valley, Lumahai, towards the end, towards the right of us. The opposite side of the valley is the eastern side of the island. It's with a volcanic crater called Waialeale, the wettest spot in the world. That's where I'm heading. From there, we'll be returning where we started from. We're flying around the island, clockwise. The discovery of the Hawaiian archipelago by Captain James Cook, 1778. Since then, 11,863 separate species of plants, trees were discovered on all of the Hawaiian Islands. 2/3 all native species are non-flowering plants. 63% it's only found in this island. It is the oldest of all of the islands. Hundreds of thousands of years, the native species were established before the other islands were ever created. 42 different seabirds, half is from this island, 68 forest birds, 29 is only from this island. The latest bird count taken across the state by the National Audubon Society. Most of the native forest birds on all of the islands is above the 3,000 foot elevation. They were driven from their native forests, urban development, sugar, pineapple plantations, ranching, the deforestation, millions of acres of native forests. 167 ferns, the groves wild within the forest. There's 105. It's only from this island. Some of the ferns within the valleys, more than 12 feet in height. The higher elevations above less than a quarter of an inch. Some of those native species are edible, used in Hawaiian dish. The valley below is called Honolulu, the northern part of the island. There's a hiking trail. Starts in Princeville along the coast from the back of us. You can hike to some of those waterfalls along the lower part of the valley. The different species of native plants, trees, ferns, freshwater fish. the eastern part of the island. It's called Wailua, towards the left of us. The base of that mountain towards the left of us along that coast. That's where the Fern Grotto is. One of the three of the destination preserve areas, archaeological, historical sites, hiking trails you can follow. The crater Wailua towards the right of us, it's the rim that is the wettest spot in the world. The eruptions from the crater, the eastern wall of this crater, it collapsed. Radiocarbon dating of 4 million years ago. It was the last eruption from the spark in the crater. At the end of July 1953, the first rain gauge was established. The first rainfall officially recorded started August 20th, 1959, when the Hawaiian archipelago it became the 50th state. The first rainfall of 432 inches in 1981, 665.5 inches, the highest rainfall on record. The rain gauge only holds that amount, exactly how much rain we really had during that year. It'll never be known. 298 last year. A half an inch yesterday. The top of the crater is at 5,290 feet. It is the highest spot of the island, the wettest spot in the world. The name Wailua translated to as rippling of the water. It comes from a pond of water at the top of the crater where the Hawaiian dignitaries they were carried to the rim to worship those gods above. Then those religious ceremonies that they held, the wind blew across the top of that crater, the pond of water rippled them. They believed their gods gathered above those clouds. It was their gods who created the heavens for the Hawaiian families. The rim and the crater were used by those dignitaries to reach the gods above. There's a public access road at the base of the crater towards the left of us. Starts in Wailua ahead of us, Highway 580. There's a hiking trail where that road ends. You can hike inside of that crater. There's another trail that branches off that road. You can hike along the base of the mountain towards the right of us. The road was in the movie Jurassic Park. They created the arch over that road. It was the gateway into Jurassic Park, and the crater was the background scene. There was Kevin Costner. It was his movie Dragonfly. He followed the road in that Jeep. At the end of the road, followed the trail into the crater, looking for his wife. Uncommon Valor, Gene Hackman, Patrick Swayze, Flight of the Intruder, William Dafoe, Danny Glover, Tropic Thunder, Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise.